I normally never praise CNN. I always criticize them, and I never usually have anything nice to say. And lately, they've had a few good segments. I could have shown you one last week, but whatever. They had one where a guy in Minnesota was like, "Yo, Biden owes me $2,000. Why is he dropping bombs in Syria?" And I mean, you never hear that on CNN. So anyway, they went out again. This time to West Virginia, where Senator Joe Manchin is from. And I'm going to show you this clip because it's super surprising what they say here. It's about a 3-minute long clip, so bear with me. But it's super interesting to get the different perspectives. And I'll go into it more. But I just thought I would show you, and then I'm going to come back and talk about it because they're talking about the stimulus check that was just sent out. And I know millions of you in the country, I talk like I have a lot of subscribers. But anyway, by YouTube standards, right? But a lot of millions of people here in the country are still waiting, right? So anyway, here's the clip. And I'm just going to show it to you, and we'll come back and talk about it after.
Economic life has long been challenging in the mountainous towns of West Virginia coal country. The COVID outbreak has made things much worse.
It's tough for my kids, for my wife, my whole family in general. I mean, I got a lot of my family's out of work.
Kevin Johnson is a coal miner, but like many other people in this area, lost his job.
I love the mines. I mean, it's good money, really good money, good living.
How hard is it right now?
It's a struggle right now.
Here in Williamson, West Virginia, the seat of Mingo County, the COVID relief bill is a huge relief for so many people. Garland Thompson is a restaurant dishwasher.
I'm excited about it. Anytime you can help areas depressed as Mingo County and West Virginia and give people $1,400, hopefully it's going to help a little bit.
Help you?
Yes, sir. Help me. Yeah, me and my wife.
There is great awareness among people in Mingo County that their senior U.S. Senator Joe Manchin could have brought down this bill if he wanted to, that he is in effect a kingmaker. And many people we talk to here like that. Charles McGuire says he almost always votes Republican, including for Donald Trump, but he respects the political moves made by his conservative Democratic senator.
Most of the time he just speaks his mind and he speaks what is truth.
I think Senator Manchin's done very well in helping us do this.
This is the mayor of Williamson, Charlie Hatfield, who is an ancestor of the famous Hatfield family that feuded with the McCoys in this very area back in the late 1800s. The conservative Democratic mayor, who doesn't want to reveal if he votes Democratic or Republican in national elections, does reveal he very much likes this bill.
I think it's a good thing, and I can tell you from what I'm seeing that the city alone will probably get about $1 million.
And what proportion of your budget is that?
Oh, it would represent almost a third.
So this is big money.
It's big money.
We did meet a couple of people in town who agree with Republicans in Congress who all gave the bill a thumbs down.
I don't like none of the stuff they're doing right now. There's a lot of waste in the money.
But almost all we talk to here feel differently. Shiron Ray Justice has a disability and hasn't been able to find a job.
How do you feel about the fact that no Republican senators voted for this COVID relief bill? They all said no to it.
Yeah, that's some hogwash bullshit there. I mean, they should. I apologize for my language, but they should loosen up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Kevin Johnson, the laid-off miner, says he voted for Donald Trump and usually supports Republicans, but disagrees with how the GOP has handled this. With this aid, he says, he will now be able to
Pay up the rent and pay up the bills because we're behind, as well as everybody else. I'm sure I ain't the only one that's got a tough time.
Tough times for so many, and now the hope things will start getting better soon.
Now that's borderline fascinating. I need people to understand a couple things about this clip. So first, it shows you that the mainstream consensus that people have come to is completely off the charts, wrong, bull. Because they say that, West Virginians in the South, they prefer, policies that are to the right, that are right wing. They prefer establishment heavy and, they prefer establishment heavy and right wing policies. and Wall Street heavy policies. That couldn't be further from the truth. That's bullcrap. It is. Because what do you see here? You see a small city, a county that is heavily reliant on the stimulus check. And the biggest thing is, this just proves that they are more in for a populist agenda, with populist left-wing economic policies. And the thing about a Virginia Democrat is, a West Virginia Democrat is, you gotta. So here's the thing, folks in West Virginia, they're very right-wing when it comes to social policies because of religion, which is so stupid. But anyway, I'm just going to give you what's real there. They're very right-wing when it comes to social policies, but what does this check tell you? What does this bill tell you? They're very left-wing when it comes to economics. Because here's the thing that this bill has. It's got $1,400. They need that $1,400. What did you hear that guy say? I can pay the rent. I can put gas in my car. I can do things with this money. And, if you ask people, when you put them in front of a camera or just on a poll, you ask them, do you like this check? Do you like this populist thing of giving you money? Yes. Why? Because you're giving them a direct check. Here, you paid into our tax system. I'm going to use your taxes and I'm going to give you money at the time of need, when you need a check. I mean, how, right there, that is populist 101. Of course they're going to take that. Of course they're going to like that. Because you're providing them relief. You're giving them something that they can absolutely rely on to pay the rent, to pay the mortgage, to pay utilities, to pay for merchandise, to pay for food, to pay the mortgage, to, of course, to put gas in the car, to medical bills, to be able to find another job. What did we talk about last week, or I think it was earlier this week? A UBI program in California was super successful in Stockton, California, and that's what people did with it. So what we need is someone who has two types of one Democrat who can navigate the waters of West Virginia politics. We need a Roosevelt, FDR, left-wing Democrat when it comes to economics, and someone who is socially conservative. Why? Because, look, I disagree with them. But if you've got someone who is against gay marriage, against abortion, marijuana, things like that, although you would find it surprising that they actually agree with marijuana legalization. But either way, and no immigration and no this, whatever, but you provide them the left-wing economics, Green New Deal, Medicare for all, college for all, forgiving student debt, jobs for all, housing for all, you have an equal footing, because all they need is help. Now, here's the problem that they have. They've got Senator Joe Manchin. See, here's the thing. Joe Manchin is against He's to the right on social policy, which is what they love, but he's also conservative on economic policies, which is not what they want. They want someone who is going to be less right-wing when it comes to economics, and they want someone more right-wing on the social, right? Like I said. But Joe Manchin is actively against it. Now, let's look at the rest of the bill. It's got unemployment insurance for $300. That's good, but it was actually $400. And Joe Manchin, I like how they said he was a kingmaker. He's the one who took it down. He did. And those $1,400 checks, I guarantee you those people love them. They love them. But I guarantee you they'd love them more if, I don't know, they were $2,000. instead of $1,400. Imagine what you could do with an extra $600 in your pocket. Just imagine if they were $2,000 checks instead. But no, they're not $2,000 checks. So now look, so it has the unemployment. He brought it down. That's terrible, but whatever. Now, it does provide relief to states. It bails out the states. Something Republicans just were not really doing that much. And like the mayor said, he's getting $1 million just for his city, which is a third of their budget. If you're getting a third of your budget paid for by the government, and you're able to provide your city with whatever they need, of course the mayor's going to like it. He might be more conservative, but if you make his job easier, of course he's going to like it. And so it has all of that, and that's why these people like it, because it's a populist sort of bill in a way, not completely. It's more conservative on the economics front, but you have to realize nobody in the country, especially in West Virginia, sits there going, I'll tell you something. I'd really like it if Joe Manchin supported Wall Street and gave the rich more money. Moonshine. No, they're not saying that. What they're saying is put a roof over my head, give me a job, give me health care, raise my wages, and boom. And that's where they get their COVID relief, their COVID check. They get their unemployment insurance, and they bail out the states. Simple. But again, what's not in the bill? A $15 minimum wage. I guarantee you, a lot of those workers who lost their jobs, even like, how do I put this? When you have a populist agenda like this, right? Like a populist bill, you get this assumption that, they're not going to like it. Of course they are, right? But when you don't raise their wages, even if they did keep their jobs, you still have people working in those grocery stores. You really think they wouldn't have loved a $15 freaking minimum wage? Are you kidding me? They would have loved it if you provided them a $15 minimum wage. But you didn't, because Joe Manchin didn't want it, and Kyrsten Sinema didn't want it, because procedure and come on, serious? So what else is not in the bill? A recurring check. I guarantee you, if you walked up to, especially that kid, that guy with the disability, that's hogwash bullshit. I love that. And his mom's like, honey, I'm gonna whip you. You're gonna get a whipping when we get home for saying that language. I mean, it's true. Because when you don't include recurring checks, when you don't include the minimum wage, when you knock down unemployment, you knock down the stimulus checks, of course you're going to get people to go, that's hogwash bullshit kind of thing. And when Republicans don't vote for it in West Virginia and the entire GOP, and they like it because it contains money going to them, well, yeah, you're looking at a big problem there. So, when you have Republicans voting against it. And so, this, again, last point, this is the media's fault. Maybe had they been more just true with them and saying, look, Joe Manchin is the one who didn't give you more unemployment insurance. Joe Manchin is the reason you didn't get a minimum wage. Joe Manchin is the reason you didn't get recurring checks along with the other Democrats. Joe Manchin, right? Like, Joe Manchin is the reason why you don't get $2,000. They think Joe Manchin is the shit, but if you actually give them the real truth, it's not true. Joe Manchin is against these people. So, anyway, this just shows you that when I'm screaming about Medicare for all and UBI and jobs for all and, all kinds of things like that and Green New Deal and college for all housing, whatever it is, ending the wars, these people love those policies. They love them. Of course they do. So, if anyone tells you, oh, people in West Virginia, they're not going to like this, they're wrong. They're wrong on the merits, and you can show them this video, which will tell them so.